Your about page isn't about you. Kind of is. I don't know if you've heard that before, but at least it is about you when it comes to your relationship with your reader or your dream client or customer. It tells your story, but in a way that connects with clients, builds your brand, and brings in those inquiries from your dream clients and customers. In this video, I'm talking through my tried and true, proven about page copywriting formula. I've taught it to hundreds of students. We've implemented it as an agency on dozens of websites, and I'm just now finally giving a name to my little formula. ARTIST. This is my artist formula to a persuasive, powerful about page. Let's go. Hey there, welcome to my channel. If we haven't met, my name's Ashlyn Carter. I'm a conversion copywriter and brand and launch strategist for creative small business owners. Because not knowing what to say should not be the thing that's holding you back from making sales and hitting your numbers. In a recent study conducted by Co-Marketing, they asked people this: once you land on someone's about page, what is the information that you want to see available next? And 52% of respondents said that they want to learn more about the business owner or the company. At least for my website, the about page never falls out of the top 10 when it comes to our Google Analytics of pages that get the most traffic, and that includes more than 300 blog posts. But even with those blogs removed, the about page is always in the top 7 spots at least, if not higher. Yours probably isn't far behind. A little to do for you after you finish watching this video, or just pause and do it now. Look in your Google Analytics and let me know. Is your about page one of the top 10 spots visited on your website? I'm guessing it probably is. So let's dig in. First up, A, your attention grabbing headline. When I'm on a client project, and even when my own brand and business is the client, I spend at least 50% of the hours put towards that to writing the headline. I'm playing with it, I'm trying different versions and variations. You should do the very same thing. Also, I usually save the headline for last. That's just me and my process, how I work better. But I will write anywhere from 50 to 100 different variations and versions of a headline before I ever get to the place where I think, you know what? That wouldn't work. Your headline should be that attention grabber that pats your reader on the back and says, hey, I want to meet you right where you are. My passion is serving people just like you. So raise your right hand and repeat after me. I will not start my about page with any of the following: about me, meet, insert your name here, or our story, or any variation of those. Got it? Come on, you can do better. And if you need help nailing that headline, don't worry, look down below. I have a freebie swipe file of 13 different headline templates that you can use, and again, work through. Go through all of them, try different variations, mix and match until you have something that you think could work. This single page, specifically this headline, could be one of the most important pieces of copy on your entire website. And in that guide, I use a lot of those templates when I'm writing copy for myself and clients, so I promise I'm giving you the good stuff. Number 2, R, reassure. Here, we want to reassure your reader or your prospect or your client that they are in the right spot. So continue to speak to the reader with this next line, probably a sub-headline type style when it comes to design. You want to keep telling him or her that they're in the right place. Now here, your why may come in just a little bit here. You're demonstrating here that you understand their problems. You get their challenges, you get their needs, and you can help them get that result that they really want, but they just can't quite figure out how to get yet. This could be as simple as saying something like, I help blank, like you get blank, the result, or even flat out saying you're in the right place. Let me show you a few examples from my students inside Copywriting for Creatives.
So first up is Katie's website, and she is such an exquisite newborn photographer. Seriously, go look at her work. It's so good. But what I wanted to show you is the copy right here. She's done a good job on separating it, pacing it out like I always talk about, in as much as she doesn't have massive, big, huge paragraphs to read through. She also did a great job with her headline and her subhead. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Like, she doesn't start her about page with, hey, I'm Katie, or anything like that. But I also, if you were to pause and read through, which you can certainly do, you'll see how she says the line that I mentioned, you're in the right place, that's where I come in. And then she introduces herself and goes on through the rest of the formula. So I wanted you to see this. And then here's one more photographer website so you can kind of see how she uses this. This is Kate, and not to be confused with Katie. And I love, she's got a lot of great copy, some agitation up here, some other things I talk about. And then again, you're in just the right spot, Mama. That's where I come in. So she's really anchored this and is talking to her right person. Look, again, she's not saying, hi, I'm Kate, but she's diving into copy that actually speaks to her ideal client. So these people both use that line I mentioned. I wanted to show you this incredible example. This is Tia, a student of mine. I'm not a photographer. She's a personal development coach. She has done a killer job, y'all. She DIY'd all of this, okay? This is not me. She just used the template and she learned how to write her her own copy. So again, great headline here, but then the party starts, she agitates it a little, and then she comes in and she reassures her client. This is how she says it. That's where I come in with a fan to help you whisk those things away. Think hair blowing in the wind like Beyonce. I mean, so cute, so clever. She's beautiful. And then she goes on and she talks about and she reassures her client more and puts them in a position where they can feel comfortable. I mean, just even the design on this website, the images, these are actually from SE Stock Shop. I recognize them. I will link that below. But Tia, killing the game. This is an absolutely beautiful about page.
Next up, T, track record. Here, it's time to drop your credentials because, no offense, but why should I even listen to you? What's your street cred? Why do I want to work with you? You've got to give people a reason to listen, which you did with both the A and the R, so now it's time to come in and introduce yourself. Here, go ahead and give your name. You probably, at least I hope, haven't yet introduced your full name, so do that. Side pet peeve, I get kind of irritated when I get on people's websites and I can't find their actual full name anywhere or even just their first name, so please do that. And then follow up with your credentials. After all, you are a business professional. List any noteworthy accolades that show me how you've earned your stripes. Maybe you've nabbed an impressive title or award, or maybe you have a great track record of A-list clients or a certain number of clients and customers that you've helped. Maybe you've worked in your field as long as The Bachelor's been in syndication. What endorsements or features do you have? What qualifications do you have? How have you studied this? If you're freaking out a little bit and don't feel quite worthy of being called an expert, let me just throw this at you. This has helped me in the past. So imagine you are a college freshman, you're new on campus. Who do you want to tour from? Probably not the dean or some professor of one of the schools. You want the tour from the sophomore, somebody who's just a little bit ahead of you. No matter how noisy this landscape feels in the world of creatives and digital marketing, you always have a monopoly on your story. Why do you do what you do and who do you do it for? Tell me in this credibility snippet. Like any page on your website, polish this until it's clear, and yes, that means there's no specific word count that I'm going to give you here. As the copywriting axiom goes, make the copy as long as it needs to be and no longer. Get the point across, make it, then stop. Don't say it 50 different ways. Use as many words as it merits to get there. Then edit it ruthlessly. When working with students, I usually find that is this section, this T part of the ARTIST framework. They typically will be a little bit long here, so maybe see if you can trim this back. Include tidbits that your dream ideal client or customer would actually want to know, and then leave out the rest. Also, pro tip here, make it skimmable by putting subheads throughout this, especially if it's a little longer. People absolutely still read longer copy online, but they do have a hard time and will not read if they can't understand where they need to stop and start during the document. So make that really clear with those subheadlines that explain to them what they're going to get in that section or if they should just keep moving along. Okay, we are halfway through the formula. Can you comment below with a heck yes if this is starting to make some sense? And next up, I illustrate. What's it like to buy from you and to step into your world? So here it's important to leave room for your client or your customer to step into this world that you're showing them. Where's their place in the story? What sets you apart? Recommendations, endorsements, and testimonials. Hello, gold mine. Those are absolutely imperative when it comes to building trust with your prospects. Use images of faces or brand mastheads if you can here. And I did my whole last video on testimonials, so I'll link that below if you need a little bit of help or aren't sure what questions to ask to get the right testimonials. But also give them a dreamy visual, both with images and words, that tells them what it's like to sit at your feet and let you be the expert in helping them get what they want. What do you actually do for your clients? And can you paint me a picture of what it would be like to work with you? I think this is a huge missed opportunity that I see all the time when I'm scoping out and looking at different people's websites, especially with the creatives that I work with. I'm looking at you trying to figure out if I can fit into the story and what it would be like for me to enter into this, so go ahead and make it obvious to me how I would fit in. What's the process? Give me a glimmer of it. The author of the book Likeonomics explained how people really decide who to trust and who to buy from based on the metric of believability. There is a real ROI to being likable, which brings me to S, show your brushstrokes. So think about the last gathering you went to in someone's house. I'm gonna guess there's a 90% chance you probably at some point meandered into either the family, living room, or the kitchen area, just that open hearth of the home where everybody hangs out. That's your about page on your website. And maybe it's just me, but do you ever like to look around somebody's kitchen and see what they're into? What's hanging on their fridge? What cookbooks do they like? Tells so much about someone, right? That is this part of the formula. I want you to start sharing some factual information about you, your life, your family, your craft, and your career. But you want to do it in a way that reveals a bit of your personality and your values. You're continuing to cultivate that trust with your reader. So demonstrate your authority here and give them another reason to want to work with you. Here are some ideas. What are your values? What is your mission statement. My copywriting for creative students, you have these, so go ahead and think about including it. Maybe it's a list of things you like and don't like, your bucket list. Maybe you have all your favorite things illustrated in a flat lay image. I get super nerdy on my about page and show a little bit of the Proust questionnaire, if you're familiar with that. Maybe I'm just a big nerd. My client and friend Jenna Kutcher has a wonderful quiz style section on her about page to show this. Get creative. This is so important for creative small business owners because I'm trying to get a sense here if I like you. And the reason I choose the word brushstrokes is because the best leaders or people that I want to work with or look up to have a little bit of an imperfect side. They're not a total unicorn. So in this section, don't be afraid to show some humor. Poke some fun at yourself, poke fun at your quirks or your vices. And last, the T, to do. Finally, give them the next step. Again, if your website is like your home, I always appreciate a hostess who isn't going to let me just wander around the house, and they're actually going to tell me where to go next. Go to the backyard, come into this room, grab a glass of wine. At least you're just telling me where to go, right? So how can you direct your reader, the visitor, to the next step? You're likely publishing on so many platforms, so show them a few of those and end with a really strong call to action or 2 or 3. Here are some quick ideas for you. Get a free resource, get inspiration on the blog, listen to the podcast, or watch the channel. Follow me on social media, check out these services, or hit the shop. Get on my calendar, send us a note, see success stories, or get a free trial. Just some ideas. I have an entire blog post on call to action copy. You can check that out below. Okay, let's pull it together. You're gonna have the attention-getting headline and the reassurance after, followed by your track record and credibility section. Then give an illustration and paint a picture of what it's like for me to work with you. Then show me some of your brushstrokes and a bit of your personality. Wrap it all up with a to-do telling me what to do next. Your about page needs to answer, why should I listen to you and why should I want to work with you? But like I said, that headline has to be doing its job. That's why I want to make sure you don't miss that freebie, those 13 headline templates that you can start using right after you watch this video. I've linked it down below for you to grab. Now you know exactly how to write your about page, but what about those testimonials that you're going to use in that section of this page? Well, that's why I have this video teed up for you next. I'll see you there. And last thing, I wanted to make sure that I thank and give a shout out to Catherine of Bone and Arrow, a local small business owner who gifted me these beautiful earrings to wear. Thanks so much, Catherine.